Hey guys, this is Kim. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming at you with an unboxing video. I'm unboxing the new 2020 iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil 2 and the case I got for the iPad Pro from Otterbox. This is my first iPad and I am just so excited to have it. I have actually been wanting an iPad for a pretty long time now. And so when I finally was able to afford to get one, I decided to go all out, of course. Right here is the Otterbox case. Interestingly enough, this was cheaper actually than the Smart Folio case that Apple sells. I got this on Apple's website. I think it was like $10 cheaper or something like that, which is strange to me considering how expensive Otterbox cases tend to be. And all right, here is the iPad Pro, of course. I got the 12.9 inch, 1 terabyte Wi-Fi only model. I chose to give the Wi-Fi only model because I'm not trying to give Verizon more money than I need to. And also because I don't plan on using it in anywhere else but home or at work. And of course I've got Wi-Fi in those two places. Oh man, I can't tell you how satisfying it was to take that plastic wrap off there. It was just so satisfying. I was so excited. I got 1 terabyte because I had heard through a couple like tech YouTubers, like I think Marcus Brownlee, MKBHD, he mentioned that the 1 terabyte models have more RAM on them than the smaller models. So I was like, okay, I plan on using this iPad for some pretty major things like Procreate, and I wanted to try LumaFusion and stuff on it. So I'm like, okay, I need this to be spec'd out completely. And as far as the 12.9 inch, well, I'm a size queen. What can I say? And silver, I wanted it to match my phone and my MacBook Pro and my Apple Watch. So sorry, they all have to match. It's a little OCD, I know. Oh man, I was just so nervous opening this box. I don't know why. I felt like I was handling a newborn. Just really scared that I was gonna like drop it or something. I don't know. But yeah, this was an amazing moment right here for me. I was very surprised and shocked by how heavy the iPad itself is. I don't know. I guess because they're so thin, I was expecting them to be kind of like, kind of light. But it's pretty heavy, especially with the Otterbox case on. It's pretty heavy. And then I was expecting a bigger plug than that, of course, adapter. Man, I cannot say enough of how exciting this moment was. And of course, right here, this is all the accoutrements that come with any Apple product, you know, the inserts of the quick start guide, and then of course you get stickers and all the other like legalese documents that they put inside, which I'm surprised they actually still include this stuff these days, considering that everything is online now. And I was, for some reason, very tickled pink by how big the stickers were that they included in with the iPad. Okay, Kim, hurry up. And then, of course, the gorgeous Apple Pencil, which the Apple Pencil 2 is definitely an upgrade from the first Apple Pencil. The first Apple Pencil was really, it was shiny, it was really glossy, it was perfectly round. The complaints I've always heard about the first generation Apple Pencil is that it was slippery. It made it hard to write with, apparently. And then, of course, it rolled around. Well, the Apple Pencil 2 does not have that issue. The second generation Apple Pencil, it feels more natural. It feels more like an actual pen or pencil. And also it's magnetic, so it pairs magnetically to the iPad. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I was so excited because I had my Apple Pencil and my iPad engraved. Of course, they're free. I was told later that that was probably a mistake because Apple won't take the products back unless there is like if your device arrives like broken or something like that. Barring that situation, they won't take the product back because you had it engraved. And it's a possibility that I won't be able to trade it in later. I don't know. I plan on keeping this iPad for a long while. I got both the pencil and the iPad engraved. And one of the reasons why I settled on the 1 terabyte version instead of the smaller hard drives. And a lot of people were asking me online and stuff. They were like, why did you get a 1 terabyte iPad? It's an iPad. It's not a MacBook Pro. Well, I plan on doing a lot with this iPad, and even with cloud storage, I don't really know what the future is going to hold for me with this iPad and how long I'm going to be using it for. I plan on using it until the bricks fall off it, pretty much. And I don't really know right now, how much space I'm going to need. So I'm just anticipating that my needs are going to be pretty high up there. Oh man, God, I'm so sorry about the lighting here, folks, because the lighting is pretty horrible. And then I had to turn off these extra overhead lights and fix everything. But I was like, oh gosh, it's beautiful. I'm, still kind of holding it around like, wow, this thing is kind of heavy. It's pretty major here. Oh, and I forgot to mention my Otterbox case, of course, is purple. And I'm just sitting here trying to figure out, like, okay, how do I turn this thing on? What do I do? I was just really like hesitant and really just holding on to this thing, like, okay, what do I do? The first time you turn on any like new Apple product, it is, well, anything, whether it's Apple or something else, the first time you turn it on and you have that like your new tech, your new like little toy in front of you, you're like, yes. And then I was like, let me put this in this case before I drop it and hurt it or something, because I'm so accident prone. And even though I was sitting at our dining room table, I was like, man, it'd just be my luck if I drop this thing and break it in half before I've even set everything up on it. And I will say this, setup is pretty easy. Like, I will say this one thing about Apple products. The ecosystem of Apple it makes setting everything up very seamless. The minute I turn it on and I pick, the language setting and everything like that, all of a sudden my iPhone was like, oh, hi there. I see we have a new sibling. So all the setup was immediately done. Like, I realized later on here, I was like, wait a minute, I didn't log into our Wi-Fi. Oh, well, wait, my iPhone's already done it for me. And yeah, you guys don't need to see my pen. And even though I did not record myself doing Face ID, I was looking kind of rough that day, so I didn't want to be on camera. And Face ID does not take that long to set up. There's a whole lot of other things, like, even though it brought over like our Wi-Fi and other things and other like simple setup stuff, there are a few things you still have to set up, like with any time you set up a new Apple product. Anyone who knows that, But for those of you who have never bought an Apple product before, or might be buying your first iPad but you don't own an iPhone, you'd have to do all this, manually, of course. But my phone did it for me. And of course, the terms and conditions, all the legalese that you have to agree to. And I know that some of the settings I rejected because I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do this on camera. I'm just going to do it later. Yeah, go ahead, girl. There you go. Keep your iPad up to date. Keep going. Location services, so the FBI can always find me. I don't know why I chose to set up later, and I was like, wait a minute, never mind. I don't know what I was thinking there. And Apple Pay, yeah, I'll do that later because y'all don't need to see that. And Siri. Oh, funny thing. So my coworkers laugh at me because my settings for Siri, I have Siri referring to me as mistress. So I'll be like, hey, bloop, 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 and she'll be like, yes, mistress. I know that's silly. I don't care. It's my own personal joy in life to have an inanimate object refer to me as mistress, apparently. And one thing I will say about the iPad, since I've been using it, because I've had it right now about so as of this recording, I've had it for about a week, and I have gotten pretty used to the gestures, how to work the gestures and everything on the iPad. Now, as you can see, I'm struggling a little bit because I'm still I was getting used to it. Now, looking at the phone, the iPhone you see on the left-hand side, I do still have a janky iPhone 8 Plus. And the reason for this is that the 8 Plus, if you remember, came out at the same time as the iPhone 10. And I absolutely refuse to upgrade to the iPhone 10 because I did not want to let go of that home button. I couldn't do it. So I opted for the 8 Plus instead. And everyone's like, oh, you're being cheap. Could you just not afford the 10? I'm like, no, I can afford the 10. I just didn't want it. And I was like, no, I'm never going to get used to these stupid gestures. And now there is no option. I have no choice that when I go to upgrade to my next iPhone, if I stick with iPhone, it's going to have to be one without a home button. So I'm going to have to say goodbye to it eventually. And I've actually gotten very used to the gestures and the different way of, living without the home button on the iPad. There are times when I miss the idea of having a home button, but I have no problem. I think that, this is a nice little way for me to kind of take the training wheels off for when I upgrade to the iPhone, I guess 12 when it comes out this September, which can't come soon enough because my poor 8 Plus has been acting crazy the last couple of days. And here I'm just kind of, after I've paired the Apple Pencil to the iPad, I was just kind of getting used to the different way of writing on it. And it's a bit of a learning curve for me because I write hard. I press down really hard when I'm writing. And I'm trying to, as time goes on, I'm trying to get used to writing with the Apple Pencil and not pressing so hard on my screen. I do have a paper-like matte screen protector coming, but they're on back order, and what with everything that's happening in the world, it's going to take a while for that to even get here. And here I'm just doing all the boring syncing stuff with photos and everything else, and I had a lot of fun downloading apps for this iPad, but then I realized I need to update the software, unfortunately. That's the boring bit right there. So I'm going to go ahead and end this right here. If you like this video, subscribe, comment, like it, everything. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.